I have a question for you guys today. Do you remember the last time or a time when you were really scared? I mean, you reached somewhere on the scale between maybe the top of the scale would be 10, maybe somewhere between an 8 and a 10. Even if you were to sit right now and think back to what was one of the scariest moments of your life, that would be a great crowd breaker question or an icebreaker question at a party. What was one of the most scary moments of your life? I want to tell you about one of the most, not the most, but a very scary moment in my life. Just a quick story. And then we're going to talk about fear today, because fear is talked about throughout the Bible. It's mentioned, I don't know the number, I've heard the number before, but some crazy number how many times the Bible says, fear not.
You're good.
So,
don't rock the boat.
Don't rock the boat. So I was going whitewater rafting for the very first, not whitewater rafting, canoeing, which I don't recommend to anybody, but I was going whitewater canoeing. I was in college. My brother and I went whitewater canoeing, and we put the canoe in the water, and we immediately went under a bridge, and the sign on the bridge said, "No floaters beyond this point." And we just kept right on going. Never been in whitewater before in my life at this point, and went to maybe about a mile, hit some rocks in the middle of the river, and I was in the front of the canoe, my brother was in the back, and we just got lodged in the middle of the river, and water started pouring into the canoe. And I was sitting in the front of the canoe, my heart was pounding, I could barely breathe, I was hyperventilating, and I was frozen. I was stuck, frozen. And heart pounding, water pouring over, and I hear a voice from behind me, Doug, just stand up. And I looked back, and my brother was standing behind me at the back of the canoe. He was standing in the middle of the river. The water was running by. It was up to his knees, standing there, and he's going, just get out of the canoe and stand up. And all of a sudden I went, oh. And the fear went away, fear disappointed. We picked the canoe up, dumped the water out, got back in it. That's how crazy fear, that's how messed up fear can do, what it can do to us. Because fear, when it reaches certain levels, distorts the reality of what's actually going on around us. And we aren't always aware of when we're afraid. Part of the problem is that we can be very much afraid and not even know we're afraid. And there's a couple things that kind of experts talk about, and most people have heard of this.